On the journey to becoming the strongest version of yourself, don't chase perfection. It's a shadow that will always slip through your fingers. Instead, pay attention to the small intentional choices you make each day. It's those quiet decisions, not dramatic turning points, that shape who you are becoming. Real transformation starts within, by shifting your mindset, building habits aligned with your core values, and embracing growth as a lifelong process, not a destination. But that journey won't be easy. It demands the courage to look inward, to step outside your comfort zone, and to accept a hard truth. No one is coming to save you. No one truly cares how much you're struggling. Fairness? It's a sweet illusion whispered in your ear to keep you obedient and small. So if you truly want to rise, start with right thinking and deliberate action. That's the Stoic path. That's how you build unshakable strength. Here are 12 ruthless rules for becoming the strongest version of yourself. If you're ready, drop a comment. I'm becoming the strongest version of myself, and let's begin. 1. Forge unshakable resilience. Resilience is not the absence of pain, it is the refusal to stay down. Life will hit you, hard, not once but again and again, without warning, without mercy. You can prepare, you can strengthen yourself. And still, the storm will come, failure will find you, obstacles will block your path. But the Stoic doesn't beg for shelter. He stands up, again and again and again. Because true strength is not shown when things go well, it's revealed when everything falls apart. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This is the essence of Stoic resilience, knowing that you cannot always control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. That is your weapon, that is your shield. Resilience is not passivity, it is adaptation. It is fire forged in pain. It's the voice inside that says, I will not stop here. It's the invisible armor of your mind and the steel of your spirit. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure, a training ground. Every scar, proof that you survived what was meant to break you, and you came back sharper. Diamonds are made under pressure. Mountains are born from collision. Why should you be any different? To become unshakable, you must embrace the fire, not run from it. Pain is not your enemy. Discomfort is your teacher. Difficulty is your forge. A man with resilience cannot be destroyed by the outside world, not because he's invincible, but because he's immovable on the inside. This rule isn't about surviving, it's about evolving. You don't just endure the fire, you walk through it and emerge transformed. Let the world test you, let the trials come. When they do, stand tall and remind yourself, this is how I become fireproof. 2. Discipline is freedom. True freedom is not doing whatever you want, whenever you feel like it. That's not freedom. It's slavery. Slavery to your impulses. Slavery to your moods. Slavery to the lazy voice inside your head whispering, it's okay to skip today. But you don't rise by surrendering to comfort. You rise by mastering yourself. As Epictetus once said, no man is free who is not master of himself. That is the essence of Stoicism, not external control, but internal command. Discipline is the force that bends your body to your will, aligns your habits with your values, and brings time under your command. Without it, you're drifting. With it, you become unstoppable. Discipline isn't loud. It doesn't seek applause. It's the quiet contract you sign every morning when you get up and do the work, regardless of how you feel. It's not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is permanent. It's what separates the man who waits for the perfect moment from the one who creates it. Through discipline, you forge strength of mind, of body, of spirit. You train not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because every rep, every repetition of the right choice builds resilience. And over time, those small acts of discipline accumulate into something unshakable. Not punishment, power. And in the storm, when life gets messy, unfair, cruel, discipline is the anchor. The warrior does not rise to the level of emotion. He falls back on the level of his training, his habits, his principles. That is freedom, the ability to act rightly even under pressure. History's greatest minds, leaders, and creators didn't stumble into greatness. They built it brick by brick, day by day, through unrelenting discipline. That path is available to you, but only if you stop chasing ease and start choosing strength. Say it, mean it, live it. Discipline is my freedom. 3. Strength through solitude. Solitude is not a void. It is not silence screaming into nothingness. It is the crucible where clarity is forged, where you shed the noise of the world and finally meet the person beneath the mask. Most people fear solitude not because it is painful, but because it is honest. It strips away illusion. It confronts you with who you truly are without titles, without applause, without distraction. When you're alone, there is no one left to impress, no audience, no applause. Only the raw truth stares back at you in the mirror. And that's terrifying for most because they've built their identity on external validation. True power begins the moment you no longer need to be seen. You do not run from the silence, you train in it. You do not dread being alone, you seek it. Because in solitude, you don't crumble, you consolidate. Every warrior, every philosopher, every great leader has entered solitude not to escape the world, but to prepare to lead it. The mind grows sharp when left to think. The soul grows still when left to reflect. And strength, real, immovable strength, is built in the quiet hours when no one is watching. Solitude is the gym of the mind. While others scroll, you read. While they escape, you reflect. While they fill the air with empty noise, you sharpen your will. And when you re-enter the world, you do not beg for approval. You walk through the storm with a calm no one can shake. But make no mistake, solitude is not isolation. Isolation is weakness disguised as escape. Solitude is voluntary. It is deliberate. It is where you go to build. And once you've mastered solitude, no betrayal can break you. No rejection can define you, because you are anchored from within. But strength without direction is chaos. Energy without discipline burns everything in its path. So the next rule is not just about effort, it's about command. Are you ready? 4. Command your energy. Energy is life, not metaphorically, literally. It is the invisible currency that determines whether your goals live or die, whether your dreams expand or evaporate. Every ounce of power you have to move, to think, to act, to endure flows from your energy. Without it, Vision is nothing. Discipline means nothing. Ambition rots. You do not need endless energy. You need controlled energy. Ruthless precision. The strongest version of you isn't the one who tries to do everything. It's the one who knows exactly where to place the fire. Energy misused is energy lost. And when energy leaks through mindless scrolling, empty conversations, toxic people, scattered thinking, you become your own saboteur. Every thought, every word, every choice either fuels you or drains you. There is no neutral. You are either building or bleeding. And until you become aware of where your energy goes, you will remain a slave to chaos. Commanding your energy means commanding your presence. It means protecting your focus like a soldier guards a fortress. Your time, your attention, your mornings, these are not negotiable. They are sacred. And if you don't protect them, the world will devour them with distractions disguised as connection and noise disguised as information. True power begins with subtraction. Cut what kills your clarity. Multiply what strengthens your core. Sleep deliberately. Train with intention. Work with structure. Speak with purpose. Act with alignment. And more importantly, feel the weight of every choice you make. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your presence. Remember, energy is not just physical. It's emotional, mental, spiritual, clean emotions, sharp intellect, values in line. When all forms of energy align, you become unshakable. Your presence begins to speak louder than your words. People feel it before you say a thing. So stop leaking, start leading, stop reacting, start directing. Energy is a multiplier of every gift you've been given. Guard it, channel it, command it, and you command your life. Comment below, I command my energy, if you're done wasting your fire and ready to lead with it. 5. Build an unshakable mind. The battlefield is not out there. It's not in your job, your past, or the people who wronged you. The real battlefield is your mind. Your strength, your fate, your future. They rise or fall based on what you allow to grow within that space. Muscles may lift a weight, but it's the mind that decides whether you rise or break. In this war, clarity is your first weapon. You must know who you are, what you value, and where you're going. Without this internal compass, your thoughts drift chained to distractions, hijacked by noise. An unshakable mind begins with direction. No clarity, no power. But clarity alone isn't enough. You must protect your attention like a warrior guards his homeland. Every notification, every pointless argument, every mindless scroll, it chips away at your mental strength. Guard your gates. Let in only what fuels discipline, wisdom, and resolve. To think clearly, you must think deliberately. No lazy thoughts, no fear-fed fantasies. Thoughts are seeds. Plant weakness, and you grow helplessness. Plant focus, gratitude, and long-term vision, and you grow steel. Stop speaking to yourself like a victim. You are not broken, you are building. Turn fear into preparation. Turn pain into precision. Turn chaos into calm. This does not mean rejecting emotion. Stoicism is not the death of feeling. It is the refinement of emotion into strength. Anger becomes fuel. Fear becomes alertness. Pain becomes knowledge. The mind is not a prison. It is a forge. And this forge must be used daily. You train your mind not through comfort, but through voluntary struggle. Read, reflect fast. Meditate, write. Enter discomfort like a soldier enters battle, not to suffer, but to sharpen. No one builds a fortress in peacetime. In time, the noise won't reach you. The fear won't shake you. People will feel it, your stillness, your presence, your quiet power. Not because you yelled louder, but because you mastered silence. Master your mind, and you master everything. This is not philosophy for the bookshelf. This is your edge in the real world. Your mind is your fortress, and it's time to fortify it. 6. Forge the body into a weapon. The mind commands, the body obeys. But when the body is weak, even the sharpest mind becomes a prisoner in its own kingdom, a lion shackled in a cage of flesh. To forge the body is not vanity. It's not about abs, aesthetics, or angles. It's about function, control, presence. It's about building a vessel worthy of your will, one that doesn't falter when life demands everything of you. Because it will. True strength is not just muscle. It is endurance, flexibility, vitality. It's the ability to push when you're tired, to focus when you're in pain, to stay sharp when the world gets loud. This kind of strength isn't found. It's trained daily, deliberately, until your body bends to your command. Every rep, every sprint, every controlled breath is a message. I am rising. This discipline becomes your armor. Training is not an option. It is a code of honor. You eat with intent. You rest with strategy. You show up with purpose, not to impress others, but to dominate yourself. The ancients knew this. The samurai were trained to die well. The legionnaire prepared for blood and chaos. The gladiator moved like steel under fire. Their goal wasn't to be beautiful. Their goal was to survive, to lead, to be ready. You must carry that same code, not because the world is easy, but because it is ruthless. A weak body drains the spirit. A strong body feeds it. When you build your body, you are building resilience. Mental toughness is carved through physical pain. Every drop of sweat writes the sentence, I will not break. And you don't do it to compete with anyone else. You do it to become harder to kill physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You train because you can. You welcome the burn. You turn the ache into purpose. You see discomfort not as punishment, but as the forge. You become your own weapon. Say it, my body is my weapon. My discipline is my edge. My will is my shield. Now, you've made it halfway through this battle, and for that, I honor you. Your presence here means you're not just watching, you're becoming. The next rule will take you deeper, not into the flesh, but into the legacy you leave behind. Stay with me. Don't skip. Don't scroll. Every rule matters. Let's continue with 7. Master the art of legacy. Legacy is not built in noise. It is not carved by applause. It is not something you stumble into. It is something you build in silence, in solitude, with ruthless consistency. The strongest version of yourself does not just fight for today. He plants seeds for decades. He does not chase approval. He builds something that will still echo when his name is no longer spoken. The foundation of true legacy is forged in personal power, strength, discipline, resilience, focus, clarity, and the unshakable calm that only solitude brings. These qualities form the bedrock of greatness, not for your own glory, but for what remains after you. Because real power is not measured by what you achieve while you're here, but by what survives when you're gone. Your legacy is the shadow of your presence. It lingers in the people you shaped, the values you passed down, the battles you fought with quiet honor. It is not about being remembered by many. It is about being remembered deeply by the few who truly mattered. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be1 legacy begins exactly there in being. Not talking, not theorizing, living with purpose, showing up every day with discipline and vision." This Stoic ideal demands that every choice, every habit, every word must serve something greater than yourself. Building a legacy requires sacrifice. It demands the rejection of short-term pleasure in favor of long-term meaning. It means asking yourself every day, what am I building that will outlast me? This mindset frees you from petty distractions. It forces you to speak with intention, train with fire, and lead with courage. A father who raises strong, wise children. A warrior who stands tall through chaos, inspiring the silent observer. A leader who empowers others to rise. These are not moments of ego. They are acts of foundation laying. You are not just living, you are planting the architecture of someone else's future. Legacy is built in the unseen hours, through pain, through patience, through ruthless clarity. And in the end, legacy is the crown of strength. Everything else builds you. But legacy, it's what helps you stay. 8. Command time. Command life. Time is the most ruthless force you will ever face. It does not pause. It does not bargain. It does not return once lost. Every second that slips by is either building you or burying you. There is no in-between. The battlefield is silent, but the damage is real. You don't feel it until it's too late. That's the cruelty of time. Its cost is invisible now and permanent later. Most people live as if time is infinite. They throw their hours into distraction, waste and comfort, promising themselves they'll start tomorrow or when life calms down. But life doesn't calm down, and tomorrow never shows up. To command your life, you must command your time. This does not mean filling your calendar with meaningless tasks. It means aligning your time with purpose, with intention. Every day becomes a blade, sharp, finite, irreversible. You either wield it to shape your destiny or let it slip and slice through everything that could have been. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." These words cut through all excuses. You were not cheated of time. You were simply careless with it. Every moment spent scrolling, doubting, avoiding, and complaining was all a choice. You didn't lose time. You gave it away. But here is the truth few dare to accept. Time management is not a productivity hack. It is a moral stance. When you respect your time, you respect your life. When you guard your schedule, you guard your purpose. This is why your calendar is not just a tool, it is your shield. Block off time for training, thinking, reading, building anything that forges strength. Protect those hours like your dreams depend on them, because they do. Discipline and consistency are not glamorous. They are repetitive, often boring and invisible to others. But practiced daily, they compound. Over months, they shift the ground beneath you. Over the years, they turn you into something unstoppable. The impossible becomes inevitable, not through talent, not through luck, but through time, mastered and obeyed. This is not about rigidity, it's about alignment. Every task, every hour, every yes or no must pass through one filter. Does this bring me closer to the strongest version of myself? If not, cut it. If yes, commit to it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Time is the fuel. Your mind is the command center. Your body is the weapon. And life is the empire you're building or the battlefield you're losing. Say it, live it, embody it. I command my time. I command my life. Now guard your minutes like a warrior guards his sword with purpose, with pride, and without apology. 9. Become untouchable. To be untouchable is not to avoid pain. It is not to float above hardship or escape life's chaos. No, to be untouchable is to walk through the fire and not let it define you. It is the refusal to be broken by what was meant to break you. Life will hit. People will disappoint. The world will not hand you peace. But you are not here to be fragile. You are here to build something deeper, a kind of strength that doesn't depend on applause, permission, or external validation. To be untouchable means this: you are rooted in self-knowledge. You understand who you are, what you stand for, and what you're building. You are self-governed, calm in chaos, present with purpose. You no longer chase comparison. You don't run their race. You only outdo one person, the one you were yesterday. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the daily embodiment of discipline, clarity, and fierce intention. Every choice, every habit, every moment stacked with purpose. Slowly, steadily, you become a force, a presence, something people feel even before you speak. You are not loud, but you are undeniable. And when you walk with this energy, distractions shrink. Fear loses its bite. Weakness no longer seduces you. You stop asking for life to be easy and start asking if you are strong enough. Because now you're not waiting, not hoping, not begging. You build, you carry, you crown yourself. No one is coming. No one owes you a rescue. But this is your power. The moment you stop waiting, you become unstoppable. And when you become unstoppable, you become untouchable. This is the final form of the Stoic warrior, not someone who avoids the storm, but one who walks through it untouched. You respond, but you are not reactive. You feel, but you are not ruled. You suffer, but you are not broken. Say it, believe it, live it. I am untouchable. Say it until your mind accepts it, until your body reflects it, until your life echoes it in every direction. Make it your creed, the sentence you carry into battle every single day. Because rule number 9 is not a suggestion. It's the final commandment. Become untouchable, not just for yourself, but because when you do, you change everyone around you. You become proof that it's possible. That strength can be silent. That purpose can be steel. And now, you're ready. Rule number 10 is coming, and it asks you to make a choice far more dangerous than walking alone. It asks you to choose your battlefield, to pick your tribe, to surround yourself with strength, and once you do, there's no going back. 10. Surround yourself with strength. No one rises to greatness in complete isolation. Solitude has its place. It sharpens reflection, forges clarity, and disciplines the mind. But at some point, you must step into the arena with others. Growth is not only about what you can carry alone. It is also about who stands beside you when the weight becomes unbearable. A soldier without his legion is vulnerable. A man without a tribe is exposed. To surround yourself with strength is not weakness. It is a strategy. Your environment decides your fate more than your intentions do. You may dream of becoming unbreakable, but if you live among the broken, you will inherit their fractures. You may plan to rise, but if you are anchored by the habits of the weak, you will never lift off the ground. The circle you walk in will either elevate you or suffocate you. It will either demand your discipline or excuse your decay. Human beings are mirrors. We unconsciously imitate the tone, standards, and choices of those around us. If you walk among the undisciplined, you will lower your guard. If you surround yourself with those who embody strength, you will find yourself hardening in their image. Habits are contagious. So is weakness, but so is excellence. Every conversation you engage in, every friendship you maintain, every influence you allow, these are not neutral. They are deposits or withdrawals into the empire you are building. They either build your fortress brick by brick or drill holes in its walls. Which do you allow? Who do you permit into the gate of your mind? This is not about entertainment. It is about influence. Your circle is not casual. Your circle is destiny. That is why you must be ruthless. Choose allies who sharpen you, who challenge you, who demand more of you than you demand of yourself. Seek mentors who will not allow you to indulge in excuses. Find brothers and sisters who refuse to tolerate weakness. Iron sharpens iron, and you cannot become steel if you are surrounded by rust. But this rule cuts both ways. You cannot only seek strength, you must also embody it. Be the standard you wish to find. Be the one who raises the bar, the one who disciplines the group, the one whose energy pulls everyone higher. Strength spreads when it is lived, not just admired. Your legacy will not be measured only by what you achieve, but by the fire you ignite in others. To surround yourself with strength is to declare war on mediocrity. It is to say, I will not allow weakness into my circle, not in them, not in me. The company you choose is the future you choose. Surround yourself with strength, or watch yourself be consumed by weakness. 11. Master the power of consistency. Consistency is the silent power. It is the unseen force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Talent shines for a moment, ambition burns for a season, but without consistency, both are wasted sparks, flashes in the dark, destined to fade. The world is full of men who dreamed, who started strong, who spoke of greatness, and then vanished. Not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked endurance. Think of water carving stone. Not by fury, not by speed, but by persistence. Day after day, drop after drop, it wears the mountain down. That is the law of consistency. What is repeated with discipline becomes unstoppable. A single act of strength can inspire, but strength repeated becomes identity. Consistency is rarely glamorous. It lives in the shadows, in the mornings you wake before dawn, in the hours you train when no one is watching, in the days you write, study, build, and sharpen your craft while the world sleeps. It is not applause that sustains you, it is discipline. Power does not come from bursts of motivation. Power comes from ritual, from what you do again and again, even when no fire burns inside you, especially then. And yet, this is why most men fail. They want quick rewards, they worship intensity, but they abandon endurance. They sprint, then collapse. But Stoics know the race is not to the fast, it is to the relentless. Momentum does not come from one explosion of effort, but from the steady drumbeat of action that refuses to stop. Consistency transforms progress into inevitability. You will not see the result every day. Some mornings you will rise and feel weaker, not stronger. Some nights you will sleep doubting whether the work is worth it. That is the deception of progress. It hides itself in the short term, only to reveal itself in the long. The weak quit here. The strong persist. For every day you repeat your practice, even without glory, you are planting seeds. They germinate in silence, and one day the world sees a forest where you only saw soil. Greatness is not one single victory. It is the echo of countless disciplined days. It is forged in the hours no one records, in the routines no one applauds. What you repeat, you become. Consistency is not about perfection. It is about persistence. You stumble, but you rise. You miss, but you return. The habit lives, and the habit shapes you. Consistency is the great equalizer. It does not care where you were born, what talent you inherited, or how lucky you were. It only rewards the relentless. It crowns the man who refuses to quit. Over time, discipline multiplies, habits compound, and results become inevitable. Success is no longer a question of if, it becomes a question of when. 12. Build relentless focus. Distraction is the silent thief of strength. A scattered mind produces a scattered life, and scattered energy never breaks through resistance. The weak do not fall because they are unintelligent. They fall because they chase too many things, too fast, too shallow. They dilute their power across countless trivial pursuits and wonder why nothing ever changes. To become the strongest version of yourself, you must do the opposite. You must gather your energy, discipline your attention, and aim it like a spear. The Stoics understood this truth well. Your attention is your life. What you focus on, you become. If you divide it, you weaken. If you waste it, you vanish. But if you concentrate it unmoved, unbending, unrelenting, it becomes a force that can cut through any obstacle. Focus is not simply about ignoring distractions. It is about choosing your mission and devoting yourself to it without hesitation. The strongest man is not the one who dabbles in everything. He is the one who chooses a direction and throws his entire being into it. This kind of focus transforms. It takes raw effort and forges results. It turns knowledge into wisdom, skill into mastery, and intention into legacy. Without focus, you are a wanderer, drifting in circles. With focus, you are a warrior, moving forward with precision and momentum. Life becomes simpler because the noise has been cut away. The meaningless chatter of other people's opinions, the empty pull of shallow entertainment, the endless distractions of a world built to steal your time, all of it falls silent. And in that silence, clarity emerges. To build relentless focus is to build a fortress inside your mind, a fortress that does not yield to every impulse, a fortress that filters out the irrelevant and sharpens only what matters. In this fortress, you decide what deserves your energy and what must be cut away. It is ruthless because it leaves no room for half measures. It demands that you give up comfort, that you say no 100 times for every yes, that you embrace monotony when it serves your mission. But from that discipline comes freedom, the freedom to live fully aligned with purpose. When your focus becomes absolute, the world changes shape, problems shrink, obstacles lose their weight. What seemed impossible reveals itself as achievable, step by step, because your energy is no longer leaking into chaos. Focus is the amplifier of strength. It does not add hours to your life. but it multiplies the impact of every single hour. So do not try to do everything. Do not scatter yourself across endless goals. Do the right thing with absolute intensity. Build relentless focus, and the path ahead will open in ways you never imagined. You have now walked through the 12 ruthless rules, 12 blades forged in the fire of Stoicism. Each one is not a theory, but a weapon you must wield daily if you seek to rise above weakness, excuses, and illusions. This is not about chasing perfection. It is about discipline, clarity, and relentless action. It is about owning your choices, owning your suffering, and owning your destiny. The truth is simple. No one is coming. No one will carry you. No one will crown you. You either harden your spirit or you collapse. These rules are not gentle. They demand sacrifice. They demand courage. They demand the death of the old you so the strongest version can be born. Now I ask you, which of these rules struck you the hardest? Which one will you carve into your life starting today? Leave your answer in the comments below.